Hey, what's going on, everyone? Back at it again with another action figure review. And this time I have a Marvel Legends action figure, which, wow, this is actually my first Marvel action figure review. Because normally I do DC action figures, so this is different. But this one I absolutely had to pick up. Saw this at Walmart. I was like, oh my god, I have to get this figure. So this is the Amazing Spider-Man, Spider-Man No Way Home, the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. This is going to be awesome because, even though I like DC stuff better, obviously, I do like Spider-Man. I've been a fan of Spider-Man for most of my life. And, I think that Andrew Garfield is easily the best Spider-Man. Now, I know that might be controversial because, a lot of people love Tom Holland as Spider-Man, which, don't get me wrong, Tom Holland is alright. But I don't think he's as good as Tobey Maguire. I grew up on Tobey Maguire. He's my childhood Spider-Man. And then Andrew Garfield came along, and he's just Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man. He just knew Spider-Man. It's almost like Spider-Man jumped out the comic and on into the movies. Like that's what Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man felt like to me. And I think he's easily the best Spider-Man. But anyway, with that rambling out of the way, let's open this baby up. This is the Amazing Spider-Man. Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man from Spider-Man No Way Home. So let's open this baby up and let's take a look at it. And here he is. Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. And, do I think this is accurate to how he looks? A little bit, yeah. They got the face down. Yeah, I'd say this is pretty accurate. It's just really weird seeing Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man have an action figure because what's weird about it is I remember when Amazing Spider-Man 2 was just coming out and I got the Marvel Legends, for that movie where he had the pizza. That was a cool figure and I wish I still had it, but I don't have it anymore. But that was a very cool figure. But, it's just nice to have some figure of this. They have, I've seen a few of these, Spider-Man, the Marvel Legends figures. I haven't seen Tobey Maguire's yet, which that's the one that's going to be hard to really find. Because that's the one that most of the people are going to get that one. Because that's, obviously, that's the classic Spider-Man. The old movies. Obviously, you're going to be more excited to get that one. But, I am glad I found this. And then you have the Tom Holland ones. Particularly the ones I hate. Which are the Iron Spider. Which, for years now, I've been seeing that at the stores, and I freaking hate that whole concept of the Iron Spider. It's just fucking, I don't know, I don't even want to, no, this is a happy video. We're not going to talk about, the Iron Spider crap. But anyway, it's very nice to see an Andrew Garfield Spider-Man figure. A bit pricey though. I was like, what, $27.99? I mean, that's a bit pricey, but it was worth it. It was worth it. Okay, you get a really good Spider-Man. So yeah. But anyway, that was my action figure review of Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man from Spider-Man No Way Home. So yeah, very nice figure. Again, love this version of Spider-Man. Wish we had more movies with him, but unfortunately, I think we're looking at a future where that's never going to happen. Unfortunately, I don't, and, I just want to end this video off saying I don't, dislike Tom Holland's Spider-Man. I just dislike some of the decisions the MCU made with his version of Spider-Man. But hopefully, that new Spider-Man movie will be good. And hopefully, we get some movies in the future with Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. But again, I'm not going to hold my breath on that. But it would be nice. So anyway, that was my action figure review of a Marvel figure this time. Wow, who'da thunk it? But yeah, very nice.